I'm about to discover exactly what that is. But first, Sadie and I travel to Finsbury Park to see what happens to all those Routemaster buses when they reach their last stop.
For me, nothing evokes the spirit of London more than these old Routemaster buses. You know the ones I mean, with the proper light bulbs rather than those fluorescent strips, with the wonderful tartan upholstery and the little windows that you can wind up and down. But even better, it's the bell. Hold very tight, please. The Routemaster first trundled off the production line 50 years ago. So today, to celebrate that fact, over 100 of these beautiful old buses are here on show in Finsbury Park on this sunny Saturday afternoon. Some of their owners have shed buckets of blood, sweat and tears to get here. Take good care of my baby. Here on the Isle of Wight, it's taken 4 years for Chris Sullivan to get this bus anywhere near fit to make the journey to London for the celebrations.
Just watch.
He bought RM912 as an 8th birthday present for his son Ronan.
Do I swear first or is somebody else going to do it for me?
Built in 1961, it cost him £200.
Right, we're going to do the tappets next. This one was withdrawn around about 1998. It was subsequently cannibalised very badly, and we recovered it from a friend's farm in Royston. The back had been cut away. Virtually every seat frame had been removed. Everything electrical had gone, all the switch gear, the lights, there wasn't anything left. Whoops, you just can't get the engineering stuff here.
This bus, RM809, is in altogether better working order. Lovingly nurtured by a team of immaculate mechanics, it also has further to go to get to Finsbury Park in time for the festival. It last ran on the streets at Edmonton back in 1986. These days, it takes people on special outings round the more genteel roads of Växjö in Sweden. It's owned by British businessman Philip Groves, who's lived in Sweden for 40 years.
Sometimes I almost dream of myself driving in London, and of course that's going to happen now. So I've never driven a bus in London before, but here I come. Swedish adverts all over the side and everything.
He brought the bus across the North Sea to indulge his passion for Routemasters and to remind him of home.
It is part of London, the same as Big Ben and policemen with tall hats on.
More than 2,700 RMs were built during the 1960s. By the end of next year, virtually none of them will be left working on the capital's bus routes. But there are plenty of people willing to find alternative uses for them. This Routemaster used to run from Heathrow to the city, but now the Charles Wells Brewery have turned it into a pub. Last orders, if you would, please.
Thank you.
This number 11 Routemaster used to run from Liverpool Street to Fulham, but now it can be seen trundling the streets of Germany, where it's used for corporate entertainment. Wait till you see upstairs. In Germany, a bus can't be higher than 4 metres. So what did they do? They sawed the top off. Back on the Isle of Wight, Chris and Ronan have 24 hours before their ferry leaves for the mainland.
So I've got this spanner.
Oh, can you push it back? It's a nightmare. No, it's not in night. Ta-da! Oh, thanks, Phil. My father-in-law was a stamp collector. It was so much easier, really.
Despite appearances, he's confident they'll make the 100-mile journey to London.
It's roadworthy. Technically, it's perfectly all right. There's nothing wrong. But it does look a bit of a patchwork quilt at the moment. But once it's repainted, you'll never know. We'll be there if we have to tow it to London.
In Sweden, Philip's preparations are going altogether more smoothly.
It is fun when you've planned something like this that it actually starts to work. We've got a few passengers that will help push if necessary.
He too has a ferry to catch to take him across the North Sea to England.
London, here we come. 550 kilometres.
Meanwhile, Chris decides to take his bus on a test drive around the streets of Shanklin.
Bonnet definitely needs adjusting. Step back.
But on his return to the garage, the bonnet turns out to be the least of his problems.
That's where it's coming from.
That bowl is cracked. We're
And while a mechanic tries to fix the problem, Chris and Ronan decide a spring clean is in order. Philip, meanwhile, is making stately progress through the Swedish pine forests.
We'll do it, there's no panic at all. The idea behind this trip originated a good 6 months ago. And my first idea was to put my wife and boys in the bus with me, and we'd all have a summer holiday in the bus. However, my wife did realise after a while that 2 weeks of messing around in buses wasn't quite the summer holiday that she had anticipated. So she booked a ticket and taking them all to Cyprus.
I'm still a bit concerned about the fuel leak. 1 minute leaks, next minute it's sealed itself up, so we'll just have to go for it and let's hope we have a good time.
It's rather nice that father and son have got an interest in common. It's a lot of male bonding going on, I think. I have 100% faith in his abilities. If he can't get the bus there, nobody can.
The day of the festival dawns and RM 809 with Philip at the helm is one of the first buses to arrive.
It's a fantastic experience, actually, because I've never driven in left-hand traffic, not with the bus. And, as I say, coping with the London traffic, although bus lanes are fun. But I'd never be a bus driver in this.
Why not?
Oh, dear. I mean, just driving up here now this morning, even on a Saturday, but I could feel the sweat running off me.
Well, it's past lunchtime. There are buses as far as the eye can see, but still no sign of Chris and Ronan. That's because his steering has broken and he spent the morning in a garage in Dorking trying to fix it.
It took us longer than we thought it would in actual fact, because I'm one of these eternal people that says, oh, it'll only take 10 minutes, but of course it took 5 hours.
At last, at 3 in the afternoon and more than 24 hours after setting off, Chris and Ronan finally arrive at Finsbury Park. Tell me, why are you so late?
We had to stop and change the steering box this morning.
You're not talking about changing a wheel.
No, the whole steering column, box, everything.
Chris, Ronan, why?
Well, it's just the thing about Routemasters. This one has come home.
Chris, you're so late. Would you mind if you give me a lift home?
If you wait long enough, there'll be 4 coming along at once. There's loads of them here. Look.
Here we go. Yes, Ronan, good man.
Well, here's that hangover cure I promised you. It's not in the form of a pill. It's